John 3:14 through 16. And as Moses lifted up the serpent in the wilderness, even so must the Son of Man be lifted up, that whosoever believeth in him should not perish, but have everlasting life. For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever believeth in him should not perish, but have everlasting life. Just about everybody recognizes John 3:16. But how many people go back to John 3:14 and figure out why Yeshua the Christ was comparing himself to the serpent in the wilderness? Romans 15:4 makes it clear. The Old Testament is written for our learning within the Hebrew Scriptures, all of which are the history of Yahweh God's relationship with the people of Israel. The serpent in the wilderness is a figure of Christ Yeshua. Here's what happened. The children of Israel walked out of the fellowship with our God when they spoke against Yahweh and against Moses. As a result, they were subjected to fiery serpents that bit many of the people, and many people died. After they realized their sin, the children of Israel begged Moses for Yahweh God to take away the fiery serpent. So Yahweh told Moses to make a fiery serpent and set it upon a pole. And if anyone would be bitten by serpent, all he would have to do is look at the serpent on the pole and they would live. So Moses made a serpent of brass and set it upon a pole, and the people received salvation from the consequences of their sin. You'll find this record in Numbers chapter 21. Numbers 21 verse 9. And Moses made a serpent of brass and put it upon a pole. And it came to pass that if a serpent had bitten any man, when he beheld the serpent of brass, he lived. The serpent of brass represents the salvation by Yeshua the Christ. And this was about 1500 years before Christ. Now, for the rest of the story. Most of the kings of Israel and Judah did evil in the sight of the Lord, but a few did right in the eyes of the Lord. Hezekiah is one of those kings. He actually wrote some of the Psalms. His reign was roughly 700 years before Christ. Check this out. In the book of Kings, the brass serpent is mentioned again. 2 Kings chapter 18 verse 1. Hezekiah, the son of Ahaz, king of Judah, began to reign. And in verse 3, and he did that which was right in the sight of Yahweh, according to all that David his father did. He removed the high places. He brake the images. He cut down the groves, and brake in pieces the brass and serpent that Moses had made. For unto those days the children of Israel did burn incense to it, and he called it Nehushtan. Nehushtan is simply a mere piece of brass. This brass serpent, a figure that was put for Christ, had become an idol, and the children of Israel were worshiping it as a god. And this is precisely the same thing that the Trinitarians have done with our Lord Yeshua the Christ. They have made him into a god, and they worship him as such. But Yeshua the Christ himself taught to honor Yahweh God and to honor the name of our God. Check it out in Acts 2:22. Peter identified who Christ is. He is a man. He was approved of God by miracles and wonders and signs which Yahweh did by him. Look, if Yeshua the Christ was God, Peter would have said so right here and in many other places. Nobody said Yeshua the Christ was God in the Bible, period. In 1 John 4:3 and in 2 John 1:7, the Bible is clear. Every spirit that does not confess Yeshua is a man is not of God and is the spirit of Antichrist.